their works. The all-seeing eye pervades the inmost recesses of the human heart and will reward us according to our merits. In the 19th degree of the Scottish Rite, the Mason is told, "Masons who have given proof of their attachment to the statutes and rules of the order, which in the end will make them deserving of entering the celestial Jerusalem, or heaven." The 28th degree of the Scottish Rite states, "The true Mason raises himself by degrees till he reaches heaven."
Masons believe that they can earn their salvation, and they can climb a ladder up to God they call the great architect of the universe. And that one day they'll stand before God, and God will usher them into heaven, not because of Jesus Christ, but because they were a good Mason and they did all of these good works. In fact, I was speaking to the head potentate of the shrine in Minneapolis, where I'm from. He called me up one day, and he had heard my tape on Masonry. He says, "How dare you say that Masonry is not Christian?" He says, "I'm a deacon in my church. I teach Sunday school in my church." He says, "I'm a good Christian." He says, "And I'm the head of the shrine. How can you say I'm not a Christian?" And I stopped and I asked him one question. I said, "Well, sir," I said, "if you were to die and stand before God tonight, and He should ask you, why should I let you into my heaven?" I said, "What would you say to Him?" I'll never forget, there was a silence for about 10-15 seconds, and then he said to me, he said, "Well, I guess I would tell him I was a good Mason."
If Masons are depending upon the lodge to save them, then their trust is as misplaced as those who depend upon church membership rather than on Christ. One might just as well depend on belonging to the Kiwanis or Rotary Club if good works would save us.
I was speaking down in Texas, in South Texas, where in a large church, the Masons who were in the church, many of them on the elder board, saw my tape Sunday morning when I was speaking there, and they said, "You know, why are we allowing this man into our church? He's criticizing Freemasonry." And most of the elder board were Masons. The Sunday school teachers were Masons. In fact, one of the elders was the worshipful master of the lodge in town. Another one was the supreme potentate of the shrine. And they came to me after the service, and I said, "Well, you have the books." I said, "Look up in your own books, in context, what I say." I gave the chapters, of the page numbers. They spent till 4 in the morning Sunday night going through all the documentation in their own Masonic library. They came back Monday and they said, "We want you to know, Ron, we all resigned from the lodge last night. And we are seeing this happen all across the country as Masons will peel away the outer wrapping of the package and examine the content of what they're in. They will discover that they are in a non-Christian, pagan, idolatrous cult, and no Christian has any part in it."
In this video, we've tried to be objective. We have no axe to grind, either with organized Freemasonry or with individual Masons. There's absolutely no doubt that a great deal of good has been done in the name of Freemasonry, and the morals of many, if not most Masons, are of a very high order indeed. But that is unfortunately not the issue here. The real issue is that Masonry is a pagan religion that has more in common with witchcraft than Christianity.
This is a time when they say that you're coming from darkness into light.
Its God is not the God of the Bible. Its God is Jobulon, a composite of Jehovah, Baal, the Canaanite fertility deity, and On, or Osiris, the Egyptian sun god of phallic worship. Its means of salvation is not the cross of Christ, but a system of morality and good works to endeavor to attain to the celestial lodge. And to the Mason, Jesus Christ is not the sinless Son of God, but is degraded to the position of being just a great reformer, no different than Buddha, Confucius, or Muhammad. It is here where we take issue with Freemasonry. The same Jesus who claimed to be God in human flesh also claimed to be the only way to the Father. He also said that a man cannot serve two masters. If you are a Mason, you must make a decision. You cannot be a Christian and remain in the Masonic Lodge. Either let your sins be nailed to the cross of Jesus Christ, the Son of God, or try to pay for them yourself in the system of morality and good works.
There are verses in the Bible that state that we should come out from among them. That darkness has no relationship with light. And also in the book of Proverbs it states that there is a way that seems right to a man, but it leads to death. And so therefore, my advice is to walk away from it.